There's a phone which is for social media and all of that, but this is the phone that I really use now.
Yes.
So
yes.
that no one can message or like WhatsApp. You just call me and tell me what's the problem and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Fantastic.
And it's fun to even cut on
Yeah,
this phone.
it is. I saw that phone on the plane and I was like, look at that.
So this was the one I showed you
Yes.
on the flight.
Yeah. Which one would you prefer? Is it jamming with Coldplay at Wembley or is a private session with A.R. Rahman?
I think I'll have to ask A.R. Rahman to make both happen. I think if I just call him and say, I want to jam with you and get Coldplay into the room, I think A.R. Rahman can make that happen. Yeah. So first we'll go to Rahman. So.
Okay. Today's guest isn't just composing music. He's rewriting the rules of what it means to grow up in the shadow of fame and still make it your own. Welcome to Success Decoded. I'm the host, Taylor Elizabeth, and if you've ever felt the weight of living up to your legacy or carving your own voice in a world full of noise, this one's for you. You definitely know his name. You've probably hummed his tunes in the car, made them the soundtrack to your heartbreaks, even your wins. But behind these hits are a human story of quiet resilience and creative rebellion. Amaal Mallik is a chart-topping, award-winning music director who's figured out how to balance his legacy with lyrics, all without losing himself. Today we decode how Amal navigated pressure, found his emotional compass, dealt with comparison, and turned his inner world into melodies that now belong to millions. Welcome, Amal. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. And I'm glad I could make it because I really wanted to see you. We had spoken like almost a year deciding when to meet or do this. But now we're here.
Yeah, I'm so happy. Thank you very much for being
Am I allowed to trouble you with Hindi in between?
I'll try to figure it out in between. I'll try to pick up on it in between. Okay, so we're going to start right at the beginning. What was it like growing up in a home where music wasn't just a passion, but it's the family's DNA?
I think I saw a group of, I would say, obsessed humans, which would be my father, his elder brother, and there's a third brother as well, Anu Mallik, Dabu Mallik, my father, and Abu Mallik. These three guys, I must have seen them from the age of 2 or 3. Not a vivid memory, but I know growing up with all three of them and my grandfather also, who is a musician. It was crazy. It was a house with 20 people and music was made in groups, like a music composer, someone on the dholak, tabla, harmonium, someone's playing the banjo, guitars, someone's playing the keys. Now we see it's all happening on a laptop, but this is the era that I got to see. And this was the early 90s. I was born in 1990. And I think growing up in this space made me obviously find a way to express myself. I think music is something that even people who don't follow it as a career, I think they should try to, learn an instrument, even if it's a harmonica, if it's a guitar. It helps you release your feelings. So I think it's been a blessing to be born in such an illustrious musical family. It's kind of tough also at times to keep up with the legacy, but it's been great. It's been an honor being part of this.
So it's been a gift for you, especially the emotional part of it, because it gives you, music is emotion, right? It is one of the most beautiful ways to connect and express that emotion. But at the same time, it probably felt like some pressure, I would think, at some times.
Yeah, when the first soundtrack didn't work,
there you go.
It was an immediate comparison. I was 23. This is about 12 years ago, to be precise. And I did this movie. One of India's very big superstars, Salman Khan, found my music good enough to be part of cinema. And he, overnight, I was assisting people at this point. I was doing background scores with a lot of top music directors in Bollywood. But he liked 2 songs that were part of Arman, my younger brother's album. And the little one had gone to play him the music to see if he could share it or, come launch it. At that time, there was no Twitter or Instagram also. There was like physical gatherings where people will come, cut a ribbon and say this album has been launched. So that musical turn happened. And for me, that film happened, but unfortunately, my music maybe didn't click the way, people didn't receive it. It wasn't a commercial success. And when you work with the biggest star in the country and you fail, then all the eyes are on you. And at 23, it was tough because they started a lot of, I wouldn't name them, but a lot of TV channels, or I've named them in different interviews, so
Yes.
they'll know who they are. A lot of publications, a lot of the news channels would write, I would say, not a chip of the old block can't make. There's a song tan tan tara, like the uncle, or thoda sa pyar hua hai, which is my father's song, like the father. So in one film, in two songs from that film, they judged me and the media, and I didn't have any PR. I still don't have a PR, but it's been a tough ride because a lot of this debate about nepotism also comes up, that we belong from a film family, and there's been generations of music since 1951. My grandfather, I think he debuted around that time. So it's had, both sides have had their effect on me. Like, we obviously had a foot in the door moment with Salman Khan, because he knew of us, knew about us, because my father had composed for one, two soundtracks for him and his brother. But the survival is the same for everyone. And I don't know, I don't want to sound boastful, but somewhere in this phase, I was still a little sure, and I didn't forget that I knew my music. So I tried to navigate the best way I could, and I think a song called Suraj Dubai happened, which is just completing 10 years. That was the beginning of the year, was this movie, the soundtrack that didn't work. And just before the year was ending, on 19 December 2014, is when one of the biggest songs of my life released. And till then, my deal with myself was that, I've been marching on, I've been hiding anything that I feel, a rejection and all, and putting it into my music. But all these years I've trained in music, and there's this question in my mind that I've chosen music for so many years, but it seems like music isn't choosing me. So that song working made me believe, okay, I'm here to stay and I can do this. Otherwise, I was also reaching a point where I was not sure if I wanted to do it because of the legacy factor.
From that period of time, between the failure, if you will, and the success.
The success was obviously vindication of the 16-year-old who started the music journey, who just started working and assisting people and realized that this is my space. So that success came, like, people would say you've come in on your first film and in 10 months got it. But it's actually a kid who got out from his 10th grade at 15 and held it together for 8-9 years before that first thing happened for him. So that was just like, okay, now I'm successful. Now I'm not going to let go. Now I believe, now it's chosen me. Now I used to tell it to my friends, my parents, and all that. If this particular song again, Suraj Dubai, works, I'll believe now it's chosen me. It's choosing me, and I've been chosen to do this. I need to put out so much music into the world that people can maybe, live, breathe, heal from. Use that. So that was my only aim. I just wanted to see one spark that this is the way. And when that happened, that was it. But the down period taught me, obviously, everything about family, friends being the most important, and how it is a very fragile, very transient industry. It's like, you do one good song, you're there. You do three bad songs, and uh, maybe they won't answer your call. Maybe you'll be replaced. So, and there's no permanent friends and enemies.
Right. It's fluid. It's very fluid.
I think it's what's relevant and what works for people. So you need to know how to ride the wave, maybe.
Right, ride the wave. What would you tell that 15-year-old from where you are now?
I said we'd done at least 2/4 of the journey well. there's more two parts left to it, but I think this began probably properly at the age of 30, which is 5 years ago. At this point, I reached a point as the kid who wanted to do everything for the family, for parents, and as an elder brother, give that platform to my younger one. because he was a really talented, he is a really talented singer. And, when I was 30 and I think he was around 25, 26, he's 5 years younger. I saw him, he just put up a story and he sent me a screenshot saying he's working in the studio with Ed Sheeran. And so I was like, wow, that's beautiful. Now that's a new chapter, new feather in his hat. So as that feeling that, I've done just enough as the right push as the elder brother. Now he always wanted to do English music. So that became his journey. So I was like, okay, one responsibility is done. Then my dad always felt, you know, uh, in spite of doing 60, 70 odd films, not very loved and, revered and, called to any of these very important award shows and the film fairs and the music awards. So in spite of that, he never got an invite in years. But so it was always, I used to see that he, even an invitation from that place would be a smile for him. But all the music awards in that year I managed to get in this first year itself. So those slightly materialistic, obviously, I would say. Even he would, it's like him living his dreams through me. And I wanted to be a cricketer as well. That was my first thing. I wanted to be a sportsman. So all these things happened at a very beautiful time in life. And I think seeing it early has only humbled us and, made us go back and just do our music. The focus has never been about anything else.
Yeah, the focus, I mean, the passion is the music. Yeah, the passion, the
Always.
purpose is the music.
Full.
And what you can do, exactly what you said earlier, which is really good, is that you can make an impact on people, because music does have that amazing ability, transcending ability to make a huge impact on
Yes.
people. So, and that's the beauty of it. So let's talk a little bit more about your brother. So you and Aman have grown up with music in your DNA,
Yes.
obviously, right? And you're both full-fledged artists in your own right. What was it really like growing up under the same roof? Was it always this harmonious musical situation, or was it some more off-key moments? No.
I wish it's harmonious and very cultured right now.
Okay.
But as kids, we've hurt each other physically. We've pulled each other's hair. We've been crazy as brothers. It's been like two lion cubs just having a field day.
Yeah.
And he's been the nicer one. I've troubled him a lot. I've jumped off from the edges of beds, right, to do a WWE move on him. Tried all the Triple H Undertaker moves on the young kid.
Yeah.
Just troubled him.
Yeah.
But musically, I think both of us have always had our strengths, and we've always shared those strengths.
Mhm.
We didn't make a musical duo, even though the world sees us as one. He's a proper singer, songwriter, pop star, that kind of music. And I come from, obviously, I do music like that with him, but I come from a very film centered musical soundscape. So we exchange a lot of music and notes and everything since childhood. And he also recently in a podcast mentioned that because he learned Hindustani classical at the age of 14, he was done with it. It's a really tough thing to achieve. But I was someone who listened to a lot of English music. Then it's right now it's funny because he is now doing English music and I'm doing Hindi music. But I was the one who listened to everything from Frank Sinatra to Usher to Neo, Enrique, Lionel Richie, everything from the West, and even music from Germany and different kinds of world music. And this kid is doing Hindustani classical here. Suddenly, a few years later, I'm doing Hindustani movies, Hindi movies, and he went to Berkeley and he got a scholarship.
Yes.
And a full tuition fees for him for the summer program, and he was one of the two kids that made it from India.
Amazing.
So when he heard, I gave him a blue iPod, I remember, and I said, just listen to these songs because obviously classical music is important, but you should try and figure out maybe you can sing R&B, or you don't know what you can do. Once you know the basics of Indian music, I wanted him to, because I saw he could. I felt he should diversify. And this is something that he, today now, he plays me a lot of relevant music from the West. And I play him all kinds of Hindi music back. So it's beautiful. It's our biggest and most beautiful work. If you see the real behind the scenes of how it's happened, we look like we were in a in a bar fight. But
Okay.
that's how he created a song that later went on to get a billion streams.
Mhm.
And after that, he called me and said the fight was worth it. So that's how I think we work well as brothers
Yeah.
and as musicians.
Yeah, you do. It's a wonderful process. Yeah. It seems like a very, maybe not balanced all the time, but you both bring things to it that it's kind of like, it is a marriage of sorts of two different sides, two different very talented people. And I think it's interesting, very ironic part that it switched so much, you know?
Yeah,
from-
fully. Sometimes we are chalk and cheese, but he's the elder one in terms of the soul. Like
Old soul.
he behaves like 55 on me, and I behave like 17 again. So
Yeah.
he's pulling his hair most of the times.
Yeah. Well, that's great. It's a wonderful brother story. Okay. Between the two of you, who is the real diva in the studio, though?
Oh, it's him.
Yeah. Spoken like a true older brother.
I'm
He's like,
the
"No, it's a
teacher
little
with the
one."
cane.
Yeah.
That's so bad, but yeah,
Yeah.
he's a total diva.
Okay. Okay. So you talked a
If
lot.
he was here, this mic would not. He would take his 75 minutes to get the right acute angle or something to make it. He'll waste that much time in the studio. He's like, no, I want the mic to be heating up. It should be at this angle. The headphone. By the time he fixes these things, we've lost 2 days. So he's like that.
He's
Totally.
like that. Okay. Let's get into your first note in the Big Leap. So, what was your first real project? The one that made you think, okay, maybe I can actually do this for a living without having to rely on any past relationships or connections.
So I went to this music composer's studio. His name is Amaal Mallik. He was my first boss. And I told my mom after I finished my 10th grade, I said, now I'll see you after 2 years because that's the next most important part in our education system if you pass the 12th. At that point, I was like, 2 years, I'm going to now focus and see if I like doing music because I know how to play the piano. But to produce and like be part of films, let's see what it is. And it would be a little tough to get into studios because I already had a name. So when I'd say my surname, they'd get a little wary, knowing that I belong from a musical family. So I stopped saying my surname. I would just say, hi, I'm Amal and I'm a musician. So I stopped saying Amaal Mallik. And it helped me more. I got more work back then by not saying my surname.
Which actually speaks against this whole concept of nepotism, right?
Again,
because it was working
it's
against
reverse nepotism for me. It's worked
Yeah.
against me in my childhood.
Yeah.
Because it's like that. That's why I'm saying the breed of artists, now they somewhat feel they want a small clique. They just want their people around it. That's with me also. But they're like, you're a musician's nephew or your son. I don't know if I can hire you because they just feel that maybe I'll go back and sing a song to my father. They just feel their ideas might reach someone home. So that was the reason maybe they wouldn't hire me. But this particular man, Mr. Amaal Mallik, he hired me for a movie called Sarkar, which was directed by Ram Gopal Verma and had Amitabh Bachchan. That was my first movie where I figured that music is made on machines as well. And there's laptops, there's mixing consoles, because previously there were only music sittings with live musicians that I saw in my childhood. So I saw this world and this was my beginning point. It was the year 2005 and the movie was Sarkar with Amitabh Bachchan and I think a mixed crew, even Abhishek Bachchan.
Amazing. And when did you feel or have you felt a shift in your career? Maybe it was this time when you shifted from like really working like really hard or like a hustler, if you will, for something to a headliner in this industry.
Or you feel that when I felt like I've
Whenever
arrived?
you felt like that, yeah, you've arrived, yeah.
I still
More
don't
elegantly.
feel it. I think my dad and a close friend of mine, his name's Krish, they both try once in a while to make me realize the good body of work that I've done. I still feel like a newcomer at every release, and I think that keeps me excited also to do music. So I don't think of it as that I've arrived ever. I think I've arrived in people's hearts, and that's where I want to stay. I think that's
Amazing.
the best way.
But let me ask you a question about that as an emotional
Yes.
intelligence coach. Do you, if you've never feel like you've arrived, do you at least allow yourself to celebrate these victories that you've made?
Yes, I've
throughout?
started doing that. I wouldn't. It's taken me at least the last 6-7 years I've tried to make that difference. That Maybe I'll celebrate with just on the internet with my fans. They cut cakes on to celebrate our song's birthday. They
Yeah.
remember dates. There's so much to be grateful for and celebrate also. It's good to celebrate. I
Mhm.
think we should once in a while.
Yeah, I think it's always as what I would say, and this is like a life philosophy of mine, is it's celebrate everything, but by celebration we always get like the cake or the
Yeah.
party or like, firecrackers or something like that. But actually it's really about acknowledgement. That's what celebration is. It's acknowledging things. And it's actually really it's incredibly important for your emotional health and your mental health, because when you acknowledge things, you're giving your brain another narrative. You're actually consciously and subconsciously giving your brain a narrative where you actually have something like, well, look what I've achieved. It's like you're taking a highlight out. So that way your brain builds on that. It kind of, your neural pathways kind of switch a little bit. So it's, yeah, celebrate. I mean, if people want to celebrate with a cake and every single time, go right ahead and do it. Like, I'm like, you go ahead. I tell my
This is
clients,
the therapist I need.
I'm telling my clients, I'm like, go celebrate however you need to, because the biggest part about that is you're actually allowing yourself to see yourself. You're actually acknowledging yourself.
Truly, from time to time, you should try and see. I keep saying my dad because he's like the third brother.
Mhm.
He's sometimes I tell him you weren't meant to be like the father because you can be the dad, the
Mhm.
father, the gravitas and the seriousness. He doesn't have it. He's a bro.
Okay.
So it's something he told me also. Always tells me and reminds me that you should just keep seeing and be grateful how far you've come and celebrate that. Just have like a small dessert if you want to and
Yeah, do it.
just feel good about that day.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if we don't ever do that, when do we actually do that? That's the question. When are you actually going to do that?
Because we mark those events initially thinking, I've never done much of that, but there are musically I've done that. I wouldn't say in life, I've taken life as it comes. But musically, I've always been like, okay, when I'll do a great orchestral score, now I'll feel happy.
Mm.
Or when I do a great electronics soundtrack or something for a certain video game I like. So you keep putting these. They're obviously things you want to achieve,
Mhm.
but they can, if they weigh too heavy on you, they become obstacles also.
Right.
So you need to know.
It works against you then instead, yeah? So your songs have a very specific emotional pull, which is beautiful. What is your process? Do you start with a story, a mood, or a pure melody?
So it works either way. I think for films, it's always the story and which era. Maybe it's if it's a movie in the 1800s, we'll try to see what kind of instruments. At least try to be 30% authentic, if not anything else. So which time it's set in, which era it is, and what kind of soundscape maybe the director wants. The director is the most important. So I think that synergy is supposed to happen between a music composer and a film director. I think both of them together need to sit and ideate and maybe just be each other's mirror. I think that once that happens, and usually for me, if the intent meets, like I work with people, I don't check if a project is big or small. I want to work with people who have that intent to do some good, leave something nice in the world.
Yeah.
So that is my first barometer. But then obviously the script, what and how much I have a opportunity to do, maybe experiment on the sound.
Mhm.
So all these factors do matter. But to break it down simply for people who may not know these in-depth things about music, I would say the melody, the lyrics, the environment, the sound production behind, and the singing. These are the four pillars. If you get a good melody and if you get a lyric that is simple yet says a nice in I would say an immortalish or a eternal thought,
Mhm.
then you're halfway home. Like you need to have a good lyric and a good melody. Then that depends on how you produce it. You do it 80s or you do it 2025.
Right.
It's on who wants what.
Mhm.
So it's like that. And on the pop side, it's different. That's where we make the music first, and then we maybe call in a director to listen to that song and ideate and write a story. So when I do my singles, my music videos, there's no brief. There's the song comes first.
Yeah. And how does that song come then?
Oh, I wish I knew. If I knew where it comes from, I'd call
Yeah.
for some more every
You
day.
like just wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're like, oh, here it is.
I have no answer to that because I'm a lyric guy. I really look up really nice heartfelt quotes or like Pinterest things. I know a lot of people do that. I see mood boards of such young fans of mine, the kind of things they write, love, heartbreak, anything, because that's the music I'm quite known for.
Yes.
But I come from there. I read these things, but melody is something I don't know where it comes from. I'm sitting even without an instrument right now. While we're talking, it can just arrive.
Right.
And literally, if I knew where it's coming from, I'd like
Channel
steal
it.
a few.
You channel it.
I just hide it somewhere in my clothes and come back.
So you composed for Bulbulaya 3, which comes with its own legacy of iconic music. Was that an experience like stepping into what was that experience like stepping into such a high expectation space?
Okay, so I need to make it clear that I need to make it clear through this podcast with Taylor, so that because she's got a global audience, she's not doing just an ordinary podcast.
Thank you very much.
So a lot of people who see me, not just in India, maybe places where
Yes.
fans in Dubai or
Everywhere.
wherever,
Mhm.
like a lot in Dubai. I know they see a lot of your content.
Yes.
And I think the last 5 years, around just before 2020, before COVID hit us, 2019, there was a movie. There were two movies called De De Pyar De and Kabir Singh. I did music for these two movies, and then I just vanished from the scene because I was getting sick. My gut health was giving away, and the industry at this point needed only remixes. So there were a lot of younger musicians who came in and did what the labels wanted. And I've been a rebel since I've been born. So I kept saying no to work, and I was staying away from things. And I rarely do a lot of recreations. I think it's more of the DJs who do remixes, or maybe people. You can't really categorize. I think it's a trend that came in 5 years ago, and I think original music became a little less important in films. So it was a good window for me to start my independent journey, and I started doing all those kind of things. But when this film came by, it was amazing because this is a 2007 or 2008 movie, and very senior composer had done the original song Mere Dholna Ami Je Tomar, which is the song with Shreya and Sonu Nigam, stalwarts of this industry. So the man who made this song originally was a music composer. He's still one of the biggest. His name is Preetham. That soundtrack became really big when we were young. It was like a haunting melody that's lived almost 20 years. And I must be 17 when that film had released. And then 17, 18 years later, I got chosen to rearrange and redesign that song. But I made my entire new stanza. That's how I approach it. I'd like to I don't want to put my name to someone's work without doing work on it, and that is what most of the remixes wanted. So I've been away. But when I did this, it brought I think it's made people believe that sonically or like musically I've leveled up, because no one expected this from me. This is something I didn't expect because I haven't trained formally in Hindustani music. And this is purely Indian classical, a mix of 5-6 Hindustani rags together.
Yes.
So it's not something you can do if you don't know. I don't know how it's happened. Obviously, there were musical collaborators who worked with me. And this piece of music happened, and it's really doing really, really well right now, whether you see reels or you see anything. And I think it's a song that made people believe that I can do big screen cinema sound. So I'm happy that it's one of my biggest in recent times.
Yeah, that's a very big challenge for if you don't feel like you have the background in it, and to do something that's really out of the box, right?
Yes.
That must have felt at some point scary, or you may have felt, maybe not, maybe you don't have these words, but a lot of people would feel this concept of imposter syndrome because that's not where you're coming from.
Truly.
Did you feel that at that time?
I think melodically I was not feeling that, because as I told you, I don't know, somehow magic happens in the melody department. I joined it very well, the composition. There was a hook, like, if I sing it, I'll get you right, so don't worry. So there's a part which is Mere dhol na sun, mere pyar ki dhun. This was the line that I had to land on. So I made an entire new melody which lands towards this. When that melody it felt like hand in glove. It felt that this melody always existed. If and the first thing I did is I informed the composer. This is also something about ethics that I want to promote and say that a lot of people don't inform the musician whose song they're taking and creating in the film. Neither does the label, neither does the actor, neither does the new musician. So every time I'm redesigning or recomposing someone else's song, I make it a point to call. If they don't call, maybe see the call or don't have my number, I message them saying that I've got the opportunity to work on this and I would need your blessings or your good wishes to make this happen. So first I did that, then I made this tune. But when we reached the soundscape, how to record like 10 tablas and dholaks and orchestra and Indian classical heavy, sitar based music, I brought in, I think administratively, I also figured who to get for what. So I got my father to get, because he has Indian classical without learning, but he's been part of so many Indian classical recordings of the 70s and the 80s and the 90s that he knows how to handle 60 musicians in a room. So he became my chief rhythm arranger, my own father. And then there were two brothers. I would like to name all of them because they're part of this, if I can. So there were two brothers, Karan Vavre and Harsh Vavre, one more boy called Aditya Patekar. And the chief music arranger around this was a boy called Vaibhav Pani, who was part of a band called Yellow Diary. You must have heard them. So these boys and me and my dad, and along with the rhythm section, the percussions, the cello, violin, everything, sitar players. If you see the list, it's about more than 45, 50 musicians have made this happen. So the energy of so many people getting into the studio, it was a festival, and it felt like a celebration. And I think after Ami Je Tomar, I got little Ami Je Bimar also and fell sick because it took a year and 97 drafts of this song, and then it's what it is.
So that's something I don't think people think about so much when
It made me
composing.
retire. I'm not doing anything. I'm saying no to projects since this song released. I've said no to almost 5-6 films because I need a breather.
You need a breather.
It's going to take time.
You have to. This is actually a way of self-love. This is also a way of giving yourself what you need, asking for what you need, the boundaries you need to set. I don't know if people realize that when you create something, when creatives create something like this, it's so powerful, what it does take from us, in the process of doing it. It takes a lot. Yeah, it takes a lot.
It's like giving away a piece of your soul every time. It's like you cut through it. It's like a pound of flesh, but it's just not visible.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just going. Whenever it releases also a song, this I want to say, I feel everyone now knows my thoughts. Damn, everyone knows how I feel, and everyone must be like maybe judging me a certain way. When a song releases, it feels like my most innermost feelings are now heard.
Yeah, it's like vulnerability on a mass
You love it and you hate it at the same time.
Yes. So would you say that this is the song that's closest to your heart, or is there another one that's closer? And what was the story behind that one?
This will obviously be something that brought me newfound respect in a different genre, I would say, like Indian classical music. But out of my entire career, I would say there is a song called Main Rahu Ya Na Rahu. It's an independent release. It's a music video and a song with Imran Hashmi, an actor, Isha Gupta, and Arman has sung it, penned by Rashmi Virag. I think after maybe 30, 40 years, whenever people will, and I hope they remember me through that song. It's one of my best. I think that was a song. We made it as a tribute to our grandfather.
Okay.
Because when I was 14 and he was in his last days, he was still keen on recording a song. He was like, can we make a song and can I put out some music? And I was like, man, the artist till the end, and he's like dying and he just wants to put music out. And I didn't know anything. I was 14. So I was like, I don't know how to take the voice, no gear, no understanding. So that dream and the inability to do that dream for him then and there happened when at 23, 24, when Arman was about 18 or 19 and I was 24, we did this song. Till date, it remains one of the biggest songs of my career. And why I call it this is because there is a lady, one of listeners or fans, she's like around my mom's age, and she came up to me, and it was really emotional that I was shooting for something, and she came and she did some, she like pata nahi in Hindi or what are they say, nazar utari. They did some prayed for me or something with her thali and like with some diya and all. And I said, "Who are you?" And she said, "I just want to come and uh, pray for you and give you good wishes because you made this song. Because I lost my husband in in the COVID time, and when I listen to this song, I feel we're having our conversation. If this song speaks to me, it feels like he is talking to me." And I was like, if that's also where I found renewed strength again. Till and this happened just a few years ago. So I was like, this is that song. It is doing something beyond me, beyond itself. It's when people start writing their stories. Like I knew her in the seventh grade, and she used to do this, and I saw her from the side of my eye. When people start writing these things under your song as comments instead of nice song, amazing, when they're starting to write their own stories, it's becoming something else. It's a different kind of magic.
Yeah, it is a very different kind of magic, and it's a very impactful and a powerful one. Do you think that this is, so we've talked a lot about legacy here, family legacy, but do you think that this is part of a legacy that you would like to have, exactly what you were talking about? The impact on people.
Yeah, I think it's so important because both of us are taking that baton, taking the responsibility to take what Sardar Malik ji started in 1951 as a composer. That's precisely why I let go of so many projects which don't have soul, or like they want me to only rehash another song. Because I report to that guy up above and I tell him, I said, I'm doing the best to keep your name and your legacy respectfully alive. People should say that this was the only musical family that has managed to go through 4 generations. And if I can, in this lifetime, always maybe someday give back to people by maybe making a school someday with his name, or someday, that I think that's the legacy you want to leave behind. What do you learn? You give it to the younger next batch of good musicians and humans. Good humans, more important.
Yes, good humans, and in a very beautiful way that you're doing it also. Okay, so where do your lyrics come from? Is it from heartbreak? Is it from hope? Is it from long walks at midnight? Is it something else totally?
I think it's feeling all these things while you're on a long walk at midnight.
There you go. It's everything in
It's
one
everything.
go.
It hits you. Nothing hits you alone. Sometimes it does when you're growing up. Things start accumulating, and then it all hits you.
Yeah.
That's what you feel. But I think it's not just my life. A lot of my friends also hate me because they know which song has a story from their life. So there have been times my friends have told me that this happened and I felt this, and it remained with me, and I made a song, and then later I tell them, I say, you told me that. He's like, how dare you do that? So, but it's not just, this is something that I think I picked, or maybe I heard somewhere, I don't know, but it's in me. I listen, I have a lot of free, heartfelt conversations with people. That's how we spoke
It
on,
is. It
on
is
the
exactly.
Emirates flight.
Yes.
And it feels like that. I think there's much to share from my end. I think more than anything, I confuse people because I say so much. But there's a lot that I feel, a lot that I understand. And I think I've seen all kinds of relationships with friends, their own relationships with their parents, friends, everything. I think every relationship that I've had in life, somewhere there is a song with everyone. And I think it's safe to say that for every mood there is an Amaal Mallik song. I hope there is.
Yes, I think that there definitely is. How do you tap into your own emotions when you're composing, especially when you may not be feeling it in that moment?
That just happened today. So I'm feeling like really in the fields and want to make like a nice, heartfelt pop romantic ballad. And someone says, "Arey, ladke ka item song chahiye, like hero, male entry song." So I'm like, okay, now how do you do this? But it is tough. When they ask you, it's like this item song thing is like a very uh, classy way of presenting music, but it's the music that really connects to the mass level audience. It's like one hero in between, or one girl, mostly skimpily dressed, and 3,000 dancers jumping on them and dancing and doing choreography on a big song, 100 Indian rhythms, 1,000 things. So that kind of music, loud music on a day when you're feeling nice and happy, quaint weather, rain falling.
Yeah.
I want to make a romantic ballad, but they want me to make all this. So yeah, it does get tough. But then I think there is that wacky side to me as well. I just need to listen to maybe one or two songs of mine, maybe if I've done, just to get into that space,
Mhm.
or anything that is. I need to break into a laugh because I think dance music, especially the Indian Mawali, Masti, Desi kind of dance music cannot happen. You got to leave your brains out for the lyrics. Everything should just rhyme phonetically. It shouldn't make sense. If it makes sense, then uh, you're not making the masi. This more sound
Mm.
like ladki beautiful kar gayi chul. Now
Mhm.
people are guessing whatever it means.
Mhm.
We did this 9 years ago. No one knows what it means. It's
Mm.
just the sound. Beautiful kar gayi chul.
Mm.
Now you can attach any meaning to that word. It's just a phonetic. So I think
Mhm.
that's my approach. I just have fun. If I can break into a fun mode, then it's easy. But mostly in this weather, when it's raining, it's beautiful. If anyone asks me for a dance track, you're going to be blocked.
Okay. How do you stay grounded in an industry that moves so fast and judges so quickly? Is there something you do to keep your mental health and emotions in check?
For this, I think we'd have to give extra and extra with 17, 18 A's credit to my mother. I think we're not just grounded, she keeps us underground. She's she's a hard taskmaster. She has her set of understandings and values and how she's been brought up. It's very difficult to say how, but she has been like, they say, like the Jhansi ki Rani of with two swords in her back ready. She's like, well, these are the swords, deal with my kids.
Mm.
She brought both of them up the way the best that she could. And she'd seen some really tough times, and she made us understand the value of time, value of maybe not ever taking your success or failures also to your heart, but never taking the success and living on your past laurels and thinking, oh, I've done it.
Mm.
There's none of that. We were at a restaurant. She still doesn't get that both the sons are slightly famous.
Yes. I think you can say famous. It's okay.
Yeah, no,
I'll say
just
it. Both both
both
sons are
Amal and
famous.
Arman are too famous, man.
Yes.
And it happens so that we're at a restaurant and she's drilled it into our hearts and souls and mind that once the food is over, you will take the plate and go and put it in the sink or the kitchen or the basin, whatever. We're at this really amazing restaurant in a very amazing hotel. And Arman gets up from the table and goes straight into the kitchen with the plate. And the whole staff is asking him, sir, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And he doesn't realize that he's not at home. He has
Yeah,
done that. The movement is so etched in him
it's conditioned at
that
this
he did
point.
it in a hotel. He picked up a plate in a restaurant in a posh hotel and he went to the kitchen and tried to clean it
Nice.
because it's trauma for
Yeah,
the
it's
but
conditioned.
but she's been that. She's been a hard taskmaster, but she somewhat had it in her to make both the boys conditioned enough, learned enough, taking us for a lot of music classes here and there from one side of town to the other, just also to support that dream that her husband also was slowly harboring, that
Mm.
I want the kids to somehow do music and if not maybe kill it, but at least do music.
Mhm. Yeah.
At least one of them does, but both took to it, both have been loved. And I say how DJ Khalid says, we the best music. I have a hashtag which is we the blessed music.
Mhm.
So it's just been amazing. The kind of
Amazing.
love we have and continue to have makes both the parents feel really happy. But we wouldn't be this simple and grounded, I think, if it wasn't
For
for
her.
mom.
Amazing. Well, bravo, mom. Bravo.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what role does having a high EQ or emotional intelligence play in working with artists or other directors?
Oh, you need to have a lot of it. You need to have patience working in this industry. It's really tough.
Mm.
Because there are a lot over the years. In all these years, there used to be only one filmmaker with a lyric writer and a composer. like three of them sitting, creating the music, writing, composition, call in a singer, get the orchestra, you're done. This is how it's happening in the 80s and 90s and to early 2000s. Now there are music labels, there are producers, there are film producers, there's film directors, there's actors teams, there's music supervisors, there's choreographers. Everyone has a say on the music. So it does get difficult. I think it's taken me 10 years to understand, because I would get very anxious, get chaotic dealing with them, because they can change their mind anytime. We're all human beings, but I think actors especially are slightly fickle. they
Creative, creatives, it's the mind doesn't
Yeah,
necessarily work
they're not sure
like that.
of obviously they're sure of everything except music, because music is very different an art form. They can tell if the set is not looking a certain way, or they can say the choreography, what you can see, you can judge and say. You cannot understand what I'm going to think and create. You have to trust the musician to do that. I think the trust factor slightly started getting down as it came up to our generation. But I think that's where independent music comes out. I think that's the place, that's the outlet where artists get to do their space. But if you have to navigate through the film industry or navigate through the Bollywood world with the filminess and the way everyone will come today, even I was late by at least 1 hour. People come 7 hours late and songs get delayed. You can get delayed. The topmost singer of the country will not answer the call for 10 days. It all happens. So you need to, I think, ground yourself every day that it's all a process and we're all different cogs in the wheel. We'll figure it out.
How do you ground yourself? Do you have mantra? Do you have meditation? Do you breathe? Do you exercise? How do you ground yourself?
I think exercise from time to time has always helped me, but I like to, I don't know how to say, I like to go for a swim and a little bit of sauna. It helps. I think sauna helps me collect my thoughts and align them. And I think swimming just helps me forget them.
Yeah, very good.
So it does both for me. It's like an exercise of the brain.
Yeah, it's very healthy for you.
So sometimes those expectations can burden you.
Yeah.
And my dad said this. He's like, how would I know? You have to talk, and which is important. That's why you should talk before and not let it culminate into this. Keep taking it. I've taken it like on my heart, move forward. Kept going. Okay, I need to do that song, do this, do that. You can't suppress and compress pain so much. It will come out the way this came out. So he said a thing where, he's like, and even I feel this, he's like, we are also humans. We are also understanding how to bring up a kid for the first time. We also maybe didn't know what to do. And in India, we do that. We tend to believe that maa baap hamare bhagwan hai. They say they're like, but parents, maybe in the image of God, but they are not God. If you believe in that, they're not perfect. They can also have their faults and their F-ups and like thousand things. So I also had to let go and be like, I spoke, but when we met, I told them all the 10, 15 times that I had somewhere written in my notes that I was hurt by this and I didn't bring this up, or like, you got to change that, and I got to change this. So if you want to keep that, I think they also understood what boundaries I want to set. It brought us closer as a family, So I'm now we're good. I think we always were good, but they needed to know like where it's coming from.
So you're bringing up a lot of really important things, which is the first is that our parents, we do have like every culture, it doesn't even matter, India, anywhere.
It's too much here.
We idealize our
Tvameva
parents.
mata pita tvameva it is.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, which is great. We touch their feet. We have that culture, but they're human.
You
need to forgive them. They need to understand your journey, but we also need to. I understood one thing, that they are at an age where it's very difficult to change their many mindsets and understanding, but slowly you can make them malleable and like, this is how I see it. If you don't say how you feel, they'll also not get it. They won't
know. So you're bringing up so many important things for emotional health. The first is that there's a movement of conscious parenting, right? Which is more our generation and younger generations in conscious parenting. Conscious parenting is not ever putting yourself on a pedestal, saying, for example, with your child, saying, I make mistakes. This is a mistake I made. This is what I learned from it. You model basically in that humanity kind of way. This is not the way that we were supposed to look at our parents. You know, no matter which culture, I think your parents were idealized in some kind of a way.
Yes.
And reminding ourselves that they are human. This is actually their first go at it, especially for the eldest child. Okay?
Yeah, I said the elder one is a trial ball.
Yeah, I'm an eldest child also, so I'm also a trial. You know what
You
I mean?
know exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I know
don't-
exactly.
The podcast just ended.
Yeah, exactly.
She knows.
I know. So you're a trial. So that's the first thing, is like learning that to maybe give a little bit of grace to our parents in the sense of they're trying. They didn't have. There's no rule book for this one. So why do we do that? Well, we do that because it does exactly what you did. Is that you have a conversation, and that's the most important thing. Is yes, okay, it came out. Yes, you had to set the boundary because something kind of, we say, like, something broke the straw that broke the camel's back. Something that was it, but it needed to come out so that you could say what you needed to say, so you could communicate what you needed to communicate, so you could all come together. Because regardless of the difference of opinions and the difference of perspective, and the love is there. That's very clear.
That's
the love
the last
and support is
most,
there.
That's the first and the last most important thing.
Yeah.
I think they also understood one more thing that I'd like to add, which I told them, was that the musician in me needs a lot of peace, needs a lot of space, needs a lot of time to wake up every day. It's like remove a rabbit from a hat every day. If you're making good original music, not trying to rip someone's song or steal a beat. I have really worked hard to build every song of mine, and it's been 125 songs in 10 years. And in my generation, I recently even got awarded the best musician of the decade.
Amazing. Well, congratulations.
thank
I
you.
hope we celebrated that.
Yes. I
Okay,
did.
good.
I did.
There we go.
I ate a lot of cake.
Oh, good.
But even that is not that important. That's beautiful. Then, like, telling the people you love or care about, and that this is where I'm at. They should know, and you should know. And that discussion, I think every Sunday now we're trying to at least do video calls almost every day, or try to
Yeah.
meet or have lunch and speak. Because if not now, then when? Everyone should know that space. And the musician in me needed that. That how do you say it? It's more like he needed an outlet. Like, someone has to just understand that this is where we have to be in this space to make this music. Everything that is coming from the industry, from work, from fans, so much information on that brain doesn't then help in creating a good piece of music. So I need some space and relax and just keep away till I call you. Like, give me a week.
Yeah. And also, I think Amal probably also needed to be seen, heard, and safe, right? So as human beings, we all want to be seen, heard, and safe, emotionally safe in a space, right? And I think oftentimes we don't ask for that. We don't know how to ask for it. We don't know that we need it. So what advice would you give to somebody watching that's totally resonating with everything you're saying? Maybe they're not in the music industry. Maybe they're not, but they're in a family business, for example, and they're not feeling seen, heard, and safe, and they feel like their boundaries are not being respected, or that they can't communicate with their family. What advice would you give to taking that first step?
I think the best way would be to maybe you go for a drive or watch a movie or do something chill with the parents or whoever you're feeling a strain in a relationship with. And then bring up things slowly and respectfully that this is what I'm feeling. Obviously, like for me, it is more like a 3-strike rule in life. I believe once, twice, thrice, and then I just move on. Even if it's family, we'll speak later. Like you're not getting where I'm coming from, and I'm not feeling it. We'll reconnect later. I think it's important for every human being not to waste so much on the other, whatever the relationship is. No one should lose their individual voice and space. And I think if you speak to your parents, however strict they are, I know there are cases that I've seen friends and all have really difficult and really, I'd say, extremely toxic parents also. I'm glad I've never felt that from my parents. They've been really kind and really amazing. But expectations from your kids' parents, you should have according to where they are in their life. And maybe I think the kids should update the parents that this is the timeline I'm on. I think clarity between everyone keeps things sorted.
Yeah, communication is everything,
Just
right?
talk, man.
Just talk. Yeah, just
Go
talk.
for a drive or a walk and just talk.
Yeah, just talk. Exactly. Take one step at least in that direction. Can you tell us what steps you're taking especially now that you've been through this most recently in your personal life, to reclaim that peace and build your emotional well-being?
So when I put that post, and after that, I was literally away for 10 days on one of my farms in Lonavala. Just sad, was making music. Just messaged on the family group saying, I'm fine. just need my time.
Mhm.
And I let it be at that. And slowly, I think just the farm life also helps you doing something or the other there. Checking out the fruits and the
Mm.
vegetables, playing football in the garden. All of those things, not done all this in a long time. Just
Mm.
being in nature, running around, just driving through the mountains, hills. It was fun. I think it just, you need to reconnect with the real world. I think staying even in buildings and just making music in boxes and studios gets to you.
Mhm.
And all of those years, it's the 18 years of being around here, working on everyone else's timeline, dreaming obviously on my own, but completing and working on the family dream and this legacy, that it all takes a chip off you.
Mhm.
So I think that's where they also realize that it's a slight burnout. And previous to that also, I went to the hospital, I think almost 6 7 times in the last 5 years. It
Yeah, I
was since
remember.
COVID, it was really bad.
Mhm.
And before that, immunity was falling. I was supposed to take a break, and I did in 2018. Then the world took a break in 2020,
Mhm.
and so then I jumped back into it quickly, and then I realized, okay, I'm not fully like well. I need to take care again.
Mhm.
So that balance is something that this year started to bring. Like there's a gym regime that I'm trying to follow, and like try to sleep little early and be able to delegate more and tell the younger kids who are 16 18 now come to assist me, work with me. So they want to stay up till 6. I tell them, no, just you also sleep by 2. But so I try to sleep off by 2 o'clock, and they can continue to work. So I think all of this helped me like first disconnect from the music world, and then slowly I think a song always, a melody somewhere keeps bringing you back.
Yeah.
I think it just needed a week off,
Yeah.
and 10 days, good 10 days where I spent time with myself. I think, and I was good. And then I was ready to speak. I think I
Mhm.
collected a lot of thoughts before I would meet them and tell all of them straight up what I was feeling.
I think you did something really impactful, which is that you took the space that you needed. Most people don't feel empowered enough or strong enough to be able to do that, or they don't have the right to, and you absolutely do. So that's amazing that you did that
Yeah,
because that's
I want to
very
tell people that
conscious.
there's no such thing that you don't have the right to. You have
Yes.
every right to respectfully, obviously,
Mhm.
make way for yourself and say, this is not how I want to do,
Yes.
live, breathe, whatever. If it's not, doesn't work for you, say it. Don't wait on it.
Yeah. Healthy boundaries. It's wonderful to be able to do that. If you were to sit here today, then since you're on a journey for your own health and your continued development, if
Yeah.
we're talking like, let's say it's like we met like a year ago. So let's say it's like 1 year from now, where do you want to be? And then in 5 years, where do you want to be?
On the next season with Taylor.
Yeah, okay, fantastic. Good answer. Okay. No, your emotional health. Where do you want to be?
I think you can't plan even that. Sometimes it feels you're fully healed, and then it hits you all at once. So I cannot predict that. And I think, and I don't even want to, like, see, I've always come across as I have a tattoo of a lion on my back, and people have seen me as this lion of the music industry and everything. They call me Animal and Kabir Singh. I don't know what all things. I'm not that violent. I'm just like violent for my music's, how do you say, the purity. The
Mhm.
artistry in me doesn't let me do, if a lot of random music. So I think I used to be a guy, I told my fans also, who used to do 27, 28 songs a year. I'm good today with doing 4 5 songs. I'm wanting to do more shows because it makes me happier. I think being on stage, even though there's a long way to go as a singer and a stage performer, a lot of rehearsals and a lot of time needs to be given to that world also, because I've trained my fingers and hands to play music. But the voice is also an instrument that needs that. But being there, being on stage when 50,000, 1 lakh people in a village, small town in Kolkata or somewhere around in West Bengal called Malda, 1 lakh people singing lyric to lyric, melody for melody, even humming the music pieces. I think it just made me realize that I need to take this step back for myself, get healthy, just relax, because there's a whole decade has gone by doing this, and maybe the next decade is more about doing shows which I love, and to do that also I need to be healthy. So I'm just trying to like sleep well first and eat well, and just be on stage and give back to my fans, because I think all these years they've streamed my music. They just made me the 390th artist in the world on, I think, on one of the stream, maybe
Amazing.
Spotify streaming.
Oh, congratulations again.
So
More cake.
being more cake,
More cake.
being in the top 500 in the world, that's crazy.
That's
So
amazing.
it's a give back now. They stay up all night during the exam streaming my songs on different platforms, commenting, writing. I'll put a dumbass picture, but they'll be like, wow, you look great. There's some, it's not, it's good for my ego sometimes as well, when you know you're looking really bad that day. But they have been like a family. So if I don't go to, I try my best to take shows in smaller centers, smaller states,
Mhm.
because they want to see more of me. They don't even get to come to a bigger city like Bombay and Delhi.
Mhm.
So more for the people. I just want to be a people's champion. I want them to know that I fought this, whatever I was feeling, in the best way, like Rocky Balboa,
Yeah,
and came
absolutely.
out
And you
on
came
top.
out. Yeah, came out swinging still.
Yes.
Okay, what is something you're really excited about next? Something that we haven't heard about yet?
So there was an EP I announced a year ago. It got delayed because, unfortunately, I lost my dog, my pet, Handsome.
Yes.
It was a darling. It was a lion-looking chow chow of ours.
Yeah.
So once that happened, actually, I am working on everything from last year. So there's a film of mine from 2023, actually, which just started to get ready for release. I think that'll come through. It's a movie called Love in Vietnam. It's the first Indo-Vietnam movie
Wow, okay. Very
produced
cool.
by both the countries. In a way, the governments are like involved and supporting each other's tourism and everything. It's got Shantanu Maheshwari, a young, the boy who was in Gangubai with Alia. That's got two songs of mine. And I had announced an EP just before things went wrong with Handsome. Just a week before that, I had told people of an EP which is going to be about 4 or 5 songs
Mhm.
and something different, even though they know me for musical stuff and very emotional and deep music. There's something that I'm going to be experimenting with, Afro beats, and
Okay.
doing some new electronic music. So I titled it something like "The Me You Never Knew" Volume One or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So there is film music, as always, will be coming. But there are singles with Arman, some other artists, and my own uh, like lead single, along with an extended playlist of a few songs.
That's a lot.
Working on about 8, 9 songs as we speak.
That's a lot to look forward to. Oh, I look forward to it. I also look forward to finally seeing one of your shows too. That's going to happen.
I hope it
It's
happens in
going to
Dubai
align.
so I can not
Yeah,
worry about security, because India is still learning to get into this space. And I think after the Coldplay concert, I think we've like reached a position. It's a marvelous event we pulled off.
Mhm.
So yeah, once I have all the security measures for all of us here to come safely and witness a good show,
Amazing. We all look forward
you
to
will
it.
be kidnapped for that show.
Yes, I care for that show. Okay, what is your dream collab? Either Indian or international. Who would you love to work with and why?
So I always loved U2, the band, and I did work with them.
Okay.
That was insane. We worked on a song. I can't believe there's a song of Bono that has my name with
That's
it.
amazing.
The
Another
Beautiful
thing.
Day, the
Yeah.
Indian official Indian version of Beautiful Day was done
okay.
by me. And then I did, I've had 2, 3 collaborations. I did the Indian remix of Levitating, Dua Lipa's song. The official Indian remix was done by me.
Amazing.
And she and Warner Music and her management had really, like, this is the first time they were working with a few people, and that was the first time that I sent a demo and they just loved it in one go. And there was, this boy is really talented and he's actually Italian royalty. His father's Andrea Bocelli.
Yes.
His son Matteo Bocelli. We did a single called "I Miss You Amore."
I have not heard. I love the whole Bocelli family. So this I would love to hear.
I have made him sing a Hindi and Italian song. Like it's English, Hindi, and Italian lyrics.
Beautiful.
It's called "I Miss You Amore." So that was our first collaboration with the Bocelli family. And I think these 3, 4 artists I worked with, I said Elton John, Hans Zimmer, more of background score. Harry Gregson Williams, Brian Tyler. I think most of the BGM guys are who have always been musicians I look up to. Uh, and I think as pop artists, obviously Bruno Mars. That's these are the, and maybe Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
It's varied. It's
Yeah.
just like my music.
Yeah,
It's a mix
fantastic.
of too many things: rap and pop and
Yeah.
orchestral.
That'd be very cool to see. Okay, we're going to do something a little different here. This is a little faster. Let's start with the rapid fire. Go to heartbreak anthem, one you did not compose.
Song or the soundtrack?
Either one.
Ashiki 2? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Who gets more emotional over a recording? Arman or you? And be honest.
I think both.
Okay.
It's just the day, maybe. It's his turn or mine.
Yeah. Okay, text first or ghost first? How does Amal handle awkward conversations?
I'm not on the phone only. I will always miss your call.
Yeah.
And WhatsApp also is always like, I've made it in a way that you can't, once the message comes to me only when I open the app.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't get delivered till I open the app.
Yeah.
Because where is my phone? I would like to show you. If someone could bring my, we need to show this on camera.
Needs to be
Why
recorded.
this rapid fire needs to, we'll move ahead, but I'll show you that.
Yeah.
But I think I don't ghost anyone. I just usually I'm not there only on the phone. You might just Raja might pick up the phone.
Yeah.
If he's
we want to see this phone.
The golden phone.
The gold phone.
So I bought a new phone.
This is not the one I saw, the Motorola one. Is it this one? No.
The Nokia one. The one I showed you.
Yeah, is it that one?
It is.
Oh, amazing. I love the Nokia one. I have seen this.
So there's a phone which is for social media and all of that, but this is the phone that I really use now.
Yes.
That no one can message or like WhatsApp. You just call me and tell me what's the problem and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Fantastic.
And it's fun to even cut on this phone.
It is. I saw that phone on the plane and I was like, look at that.
So this was the one I showed you on the flight.
Yeah. Okay. One singer you'd call at 3 a.m. for a last minute track and they'd say yes.
Right now it's me, but Arman is someone. I have a superstar singer at home, so I can I've always used him at any time I want.
And you're the older brother. So
precisely.
Exactly. Okay. So you walk into a studio and the vibe is off. What is your go-to solution?
I go to the loo and I put down the pot and I sit on the pot and start writing the lyrics. I make all my music sometimes either on the terrace, on a drive, somewhere while walking. And if not these things, and if it's a chaos in the studio, I just go lock the bathroom, sit down, and just start writing a song. I run away from there. I think the bathroom's the safest place to run when too many people are troubling in a studio.
That's true. Nobody will bother you in there, so you do have that space. Okay, so which one would you prefer? Is it jamming with Coldplay at Wembley or is a private session with A.R. Rahman?
I think I'll have to ask A.R. Rahman to make both happen. I think if I just call him and say, I want to jam with you and get Coldplay into the room, I think A.R. Rahman can make that happen. So first we'll go to Rahman. So.
Okay. What's more challenging, composing a breakup song or a wedding track?
I think both. And for me right now, it's more challenging to make a breakup track because there have been so many successful breakup tracks that I've made. Or more like not just breakup, just feelings of the heart kind of track. I think emotional songs, people have seen that as my forte, and I love doing dance tracks, but I don't get too many of them. I do a lot of emotional music. I think it's more obviously challenging to do a new age dance vibe today, but equally challenging for me to do a love song because I've done so many, so I need to beat the others every single time.
Okay, so your last voice note that you sent, was it music, a rant, or a random melody at 2 a.m.?
Was to one of my friends saying, are you actually coming for this trip or not?
So it's
don't lie to me. Yeah, because I'm planning my birthday and they were like, oh, we've done the ticket. I said, I want proof right now. Send me the screenshot of the ticket.
When is your birthday?
16th of June.
Okay, amazing. Okay, an actor who totally surprised you with their musical talent on set.
I think a lot of them. Tiger Shroff would be one who he happens to be a childhood friend. Also, we were in school for a while together. I think he can dance to anything. You can really do a lot of different genres with him. I think the younger lot him, and in the seniors maybe um, just by their ear and understanding of good music. I think Salman Khan, Akshay Kumar, and Shah Rukh Khan. I've interacted with all three, worked with only Salman Khan and Akshay. They all three know what good music is. They have a good ear.
Okay, amazing. Do you secretly judge people's playlists when they plug them in? Okay, noted. Okay,
Secretly.
Secret.
Nothing else. I don't say anything
The
to them.
secret is out, though.
But that
Okay.
helps. That helps me gauge also. So I do this. I go to even a club. Sometimes I used to, not anymore. Used to wear a hoodie and sit on a Saturday night and see what people are listening to and which songs the DJ is playing, why they're going mad. It gives you an insight into what people. So I don't judge them.
You
But
assess.
if I'm not in the mood for that music and they're really playing some noisy, extra loud music, then I might judge them.
Yeah, man, I understand. Well, a lot of the musicians the international musicians that you spoke about, are all on my playlist. So I think mine would maybe okay, maybe depending on which era we're talking about. Okay, a song you wish the world heard more, but it got buried under the hit radar. If you could sing it for us, that'd be even better.
Oh. I don't think there are many of mine also which I feel were really special and I think people haven't heard. Is it okay if I say mine or should I say someone else's?
You can say whatever. You can say the truth. Say the
I
truth.
think there is a playlist. I will be putting it up. It's called, like a fan of mine has made it. It's called Hidden Gems of Amaal Mallik. It's got all the songs out of the hundreds that are really special and really heartfelt and they've not been heard at all. There is a song of mine called Hai Zaruri. That is a song of mine that from the movie Noor. I think if people just discover it, they'll be blown away.
Okay. All right. We're waiting for that playlist.
It's called Hai Zaruri.
Suddenly. Okay. A one-line mantra that you live by.
Do I live by one line on mantra? I don't know. I think it's a Hindi way of saying it. Sabka bhala ho, mera thoda zyada ho. I don't know how to say it. It's like I just wish everyone does well. I don't say this shouldn't happen or that shouldn't happen for someone. I'm like everyone should do well. I think I should do just a little better than them.
Okay. Okay.
I can ask God, come on, do well for everyone. Give me that extra
Yeah,
bit.
the extra bit.
I work
Okay.
hard. Come on, let's go.
Okay. What is not part of your definition of success, even if the world says it should be?
Not part of it. I think if you can't say no to something, you're not successful.
Very good.
So if you can say no to something, a film, a feeling, a party, anything. If you can't say no to things, not just to hurt people, some people use it wrong, but if you can't say no, whatever position you're in, then you're not successful. I feel that.
You're not really asking for what you really want. You're not sticking true to that.
Yeah.
And it's good to be able to set a boundary. So finish this sentence. People think that I am blank, but actually I am blank.
This is my Instagram bio also. It makes sense with it. If it goes in the blanks, I don't know. But a man known to everyone and no one.
No way.
That's how I think I describe who I am.
Yes. What is louder, your inner critic or your intuition?
On most days, it is intuition, but there are days the inner critic also comes through. It's like that. It's like the devil and the angel right here. Critical about my music, obviously, and as a human being, I am an overthinker. So there is a music composer also who's an overthinker. So there is 200%, two different humans overthinking. So it does happen sometimes that I get critical. But only if I hear. So I stopped listening to the radio because my songs play. I'm really grateful they play. But then I keep finding mistakes. Oh, the bass line wasn't right or the snare could be better. So I do get critical. But mostly I'm intuitive about everything.
Wonderful. It's wonderful. It's very human to have both those elements in
Yes.
us. And not every day is the same, right? So one day's one way, one day's the other. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank
you
you.
for really showing us who you are, your emotions, the process, the journey, and the boundaries that you've set, the healthy journey that you're on. It's wonderful to see,
Thank
and
you.
it's so great to see you. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me and love you guys, the whole team here.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to the whole team.
I'll,
Thank you,
I'll see you
everyone.
all soon.
Yes, thank you.
See you. Thank you.
And there you have it, composer, collaborator, creator of vibes, Amaal Mallik. From chartbusters to quiet heartbreaks, this man isn't just scoring music, he's scoring moments that will stay. While he may be known for his melodies, today we got a chance to see the real him, who he is even before the note is written. What stood out today? That behind every hook and harmony he masterfully creates, it's a human being attuned into his emotions, relationships, and craft. So if you're chasing success, maybe don't look at the charts. Look inward, feel more, express better, because behind every song is a soul. And today, we were lucky enough to hear from one who isn't just melodic, but also meaningful. What Amal so beautifully decoded for all of us is this. Your EQ is your loudest instrument. Use it well, and your siren song will ring loud and true for every single person to hear. We'll catch up with you next week on Success Decoded, where we'll continue to uncover the stories behind the success.